It's not. You mean it's not. It's not. I appreciate that.
Hello,
All
hello.
right, thank you.
Good evening, Donovan.
So how's everyone?
Good. Small board today, huh? No, good, thank you. Yeah, already said it.
Sonia, good?
Yeah.
All right, folks, I will go ahead and call our study session to order. It is 6:31 PM. If we can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As you all see, we have our assistant city clerk at the helm today. So Sonia, will you take roll call for us, please?
Councilmember Williams,
Present.
Reed,
Here.
Stewart,
Here.
Ross.
Here.
David,
Here.
French,
Here.
Mayor Snyder.
Here. So our study session is to discuss items that need approval at our regular meeting. First is to approve resolution 2025-09 to establish a commercial redevelopment district for 205 West Cass Street. In your packet, you will see that we will have a public hearing and the resolution that we are going to be asked to approve. Attorney Harkness or City Manager, which one do you want to take with you on this discussion?
So I'm happy to. So, doing a commercial rehabilitation district is basically just, a determination that the particular parcel of land, is a qualified facility, that, it has certain tax advantages, to doing it, and it has to have been a commercial facility, which this was, if I'm not mistaken, this was the former dry cleaner. So the district itself really is just gonna be limited to 205 West Cass Street. That is the district, it's not beyond that. In terms of, the hearing itself, we were required to have a public hearing for state law. Ironically enough, provide notice to everyone within the districts, which was the owner of 205 West Cass Street. So, but it also requires, just a determination that, it meets the requirements of section 5, under the act, which, is. So commercial property is kind of self-explanatory, but in terms of a qualified facility, it could be a retail food establishment or group of contiguous buildings that are 15 years or older, have been allocated for new market tax credits. Could be a building or group of contiguous buildings previously used for commercial or industrial purposes, or obsolete industrial property, vacant property. So I mean, I'll just stop there because obviously it was a building previously used for a commercial purpose, which it used to be a dry cleaner. In any event, so after we establish the district, the business requesting the district will apply for an exemption certificate. And that'll be a separate thing. This is just step one, establishing the district to allow we have to establish a district before the applicant can seek an exemption certificate, which will, like I said, provide potential tax advantages to the rehabilitation of the property.
Do you want to add anything?
Yes. Madam Mayor, members of council and public,
in the 1970s, there were a host of state incentives that and tools that the state legislature gave local municipalities. Public Act 255 is similar to a tax abatement like we've given to other industrial or manufacturers. In this particular case, once we create a district, which is the tax description or the property boundary, the applicant can come in, make application to city council, and what we will do is we will freeze the property at its current value. So they will still be paying a taxable value at the current rate, except it will be frozen for the next 12 years. That is one of the few tax abatements allowed under for commercial districts. Industrial districts are a little bit different. In this particular case, it's one of the few tools that our city has to give incentives to properties within our downtown or near our downtown for commercial development.
Any questions for either city manager or our attorney? Councilman Williams.
Yep, I got questions. Doug, since this is a tax abatement and we're freezing their current taxes, taxes typically go up, what, 2% every year to keep up with inflation or more?
Can't go one.
More than one? Okay, so 1% every year. We're doing this for 11 years. During that time frame, other people in the community will be covering that extra tax expense?
No, and the reason why is this will be a brand new facility. So even though it's frozen, it will be brand new placed on our tax roll.
Gotcha. Perfect.
The one other thing is what used to take place was the ability to also include personal property. Since proposal A, the state has removed personal property and it will be, it's not going to be, have the benefit of a tax abatement.
Gotcha. Okay,
Any other questions?
I got another question.
Yep.
Yeah, so I was doing a little research online and, public facing site, Eagle Ride Mapper database, showed that 205 West Cass was on the, 201 property list. You familiar with the 201 property list, Doug?
Because of the dry cleaners.
Not exactly sure. I know it ended up saying that they ended up finding chemicals in the soil and they had also sent out, they had also said that there were toxic VOCs and additional testing need to be done. I wanted to know if that testing was done.
That is in the process right now. If I recall, I believe the applicant is working with Tri-Terra, which is an environmental company. Because it was a dry cleaners, trichloroethylene, which was a chemical used in dry cleaning, has turned out to be a very toxic material. Sometimes if it's absorbed into the floor, it can turn into a vapor. I know it is the applicant's desire, not only desire, but mission to completely encapsulate and to make sure that there is no contamination or exposure in that regard.
So we've already received the due diligence or they're doing the due diligence
They are doing it right now.
right now. Okay, okay, so they'll still have to come up with a remediation plan.
I believe they already have. It has not been presented to this body,
Okay,
but we will work with the property owner. Because our philosophy is anytime we can take a building that was good at one point, we'd like to remediate it and make sure that it's repurposed for a positive way.
understandable. Being that we don't know if, the remediation plan will, provide a safe environment for potential customers that, inhabit that building or, you know, just the tenants themselves. Should we be this far along or
I think
are we comfortable with the way that this is?
right, creating the district does not commit city council. I would think also that in the best interest of the property owner, that they're trying to get out ahead. Obviously, for me, to the point of usefulness, they will not pursue it. But I have every expectation that they'll be able to meet that criteria.
Perfect, thank you.
Any other questions?
Just to confirm, as this, the term on this is a 12-year,
Yes,
and at the point where the 12 year is up, it's reverts to the property's value at that point.
yes, it will be reassessed by our assessor for the taxable value at that point.
And this seems very similar to some of the other work we've done on some of the actually quite a bit larger projects. Where we've had something that had a term of 6 or 12.
It's kind of, it's similar to how like a brownfield operates, except this is specific to commercial properties.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, next, we're going to be asked to approve the second reading of ordinance 2025-04 for the tax exemption for Washington Gardner. So at the last meeting, we had approval. This is the second reading. Do we have any questions?
The pilot. So we know that there's an increase in the pilot from what was brought to us at the last meeting. The 7% pilot, that's at the recommendation of the city assessor.
The city assessor was included in those discussions. However, this was a little bit of discussion between the developer and the city manager's office. We brought this up, as we understand from the last conversation and current conversations that perhaps city council and the public was concerned with this development. We try to get ahead of the ball a little bit in anticipation of discussion tonight to include the 7% pilot. At this point, the administration isn't quite certain after we hear and hold a public hearing what the final outcome will be tonight. We know that we have great interest and have a gentleman represented tonight from the development. So again, we're trying to line the stars up for any questions our citizens and council might have going forward. There's no guarantees on the part of the administration and to the public whether or not this will happen. But in anticipation that it does, we're taking things step by step to make sure that a revenue stream is identified. One that we're not going to regret down the road. This is a big step forward for us. That school represents a big part of our history and a big part of our downtown. So what we want to do is make sure that we're moving in the right direction. We appreciate our citizens' input. We know that from social media that they've shown great interest in this project. And we want to make it clear that everything is done in the open and is transparent, and those discussions are moving forward.
Right. Now, we do know that there's a lot of misinformation out there as well. As far as the pilot and what it covers, ownership of the property, because we as a city don't own that property.
That's correct.
We also don't have any say in what the final product that comes out of that property is because we don't own. So to ensure that we keep the conversation to the pilot and not the potential end use of the development, we have to keep that in mind as well. So I just wanted to say that. Now, will the developer be presenting again today, this
Yes.
packet that we haven't seen?
Yes, I took the liberty of reproducing the packet for not only us, but also for our audience, our citizens that are present here tonight. This is a mixed use. It's not low income. It's mixed income. So I want to make that quite clear. Also, at tonight's meeting, discussion will take place whether or not how we proceed forward, because we want to leave our citizens and our council in a comfortable position that no matter what they do, that we're acting in the best interest going forward.
Right.
Any other questions or comments?
Well, the comment that I have, since I missed last time, this is new information and we're supposed to decipher this, you know. It's not new information, okay? I haven't seen it. I was.
No,
And-
this was just reference. Sure.
Any other questions or comments? Next, we're gonna be asked to approve, $6,200 for the change order in our water systems improvement project. Director Kern, are you gonna speak on this one?
This is just a small change order. They had to extend a fire hydrant a little bit higher than they originally estimated. They also got into two manholes that had some structural issues. One had to be brought up a little bit higher because it was lower in the ground than the original pavement. And the other one was built with bricks on top of cement structure, and some of the bricks had caved in. And so they had to replace the bricks and then rebuild the structure and bring it back up. Came to a total of about $6,200.
Questions for Director Kern? All right, easy enough. Given the time and the amount of folks that we have sitting in the gallery, I do want to provide time for public comment. Remember, this is just our study session. We will also have time for public comment during our regular council meeting. But if anybody has to scoot out, this is your opportunity to come forth. Give us your name, address, and 3 minutes is yours.
Marcola Lawler, 918 North Berrien Street. These apartments aren't for people looking for a handout. They're for people who work hard every day and still can't catch a break. It's not low income to make $40,000 a year. That's the average in Albion. They are our neighbors, our coworkers, and our friends. I want the people who serve our food, teach our kids, fix our cars, essential workers, and care for our elders to have a decent place to live in the city that they already support. When 1 out of every 3 renters in Albion is paying more than they can afford for housing, how can we not build something better? A single emergency like a car repair or medical bill shouldn't be the reason someone ends up homeless. This housing gives people breathing room. If we want to see Albion grow, we need to make room for the people who are already helping it survive. This is about more than buildings. It's about building stability for families, for kids, for our future. We can't say we want to revitalize the city, then block the very developments that help real people stay and thrive here. Thank you.
Joe Rebecca, 1217 East Porter Street. I have a note from Stephanie Dobbins on the 205 West Cass Street property. She's on vacation somewhere out on the East Coast, having way more fun than we are. Stephanie regrets that she's unable to attend tonight's meeting, but wants to express her strong support for the establishment of a commercial rehabilitation district, PA 255, that includes 205 West Cass Street in Albion. Stephanie's in the process of developing a high-quality laundromat at this location. Her goal is to provide a clean, safe, and welcoming space for customers, a place that not only meets a basic need, but also contributes to a sense of community and connection. This business will support Albion's economic development, promote sustainability, and enhance the vibrancy and viability of our downtown. The availability of PA 255 incentives would make a meaningful difference in our ability to invest in necessary building and equipment improvements. That building's in a really, really bad shape. Active leaks, as you mentioned, contamination that we're addressing now. We don't want to put anybody in danger. I mean, like that's the antithesis of a successful business. I hope you will support the creation of this district and help make this project possible. Thank you.
Would anybody else like to come forward? All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I would. But microphone, there's none here.
Just speak loud.
I will. Kevin Miller, 208 Booth Drive, Albion. My comment and concern is about the affordable housing that we're talking about here. And I guess I need to do a little more homework to be more educated on what's happening, but from what I'm understanding, it's, and what I've read on social media, it's being called low-income housing, different things like that. And I guess unless you make $200,000 a year, everybody could be considered low income in today's society. But what are we doing here? I mean, this is Albion. So I'm sitting here, I'm looking at the council and I'm like, okay, we got to take a vote on this. Some affordable housing in Albion. You mentioned something about revenue. I went to Washington Garden Middle School. It hasn't been a school there for how many years? 15. Has there been revenue generated from that property since we stopped going to school there? Has there even been any revenue generated from there? Has there been taxes generated from that property? So why are we sitting up now when someone is talking about bringing some affordable apartments or housing to that property, saying, let's make sure it generates some sort of revenue? It hasn't been any revenue there. So what are we talking about now? So I guess I'm just a resident here in this city saying that I need this council right here, everybody here, to vote yes on this affordable housing coming out, because we need it. All right, we really need it. Everybody here is not making 100, 200, 300,000. I don't know how many people in City Hall is making that. So I'm sure it's some employees in City Hall, Albion College, residents of Albion that could benefit from that and stay here in Albion with our tax base. And I'm sure that once we have the census here in Albion, people are counted. I don't know how much money is generated from that. I don't know. But I'm sure that those folks up there would help contribute to what we have now. That's revenue there. That's the tax base there that we can have. So let's not deny that. So I need this council to vote yes on that. Thank you.
Would anybody else like to stand and address council? Seeing no movement, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. Support.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting adjourned 6:53 PM. We will come back for regular council at 7.